but percentage is in way tilted in the positive direction. So I'm not really rose-colored glasses type of guy, but you can't ignore that. So no, the percentage of plays that I thought we played at a high level were obviously good. And as football, like we told the guys, football, that ball makes like water. He's going to find a crack. And so where we're deficient, obviously showed up. And so, I mean, it's continued progress as we go through it. I think you build on so much of it. I think for so many of these guys, I think somebody told me that 10 guys played their first snaps at USC defensively. And no one wants to hear that, but it doesn't make it any less true. And so, you know, we got to keep coaching them up, and we got to coach it at a high level, and we also got to give credit to the opponent. Coach Brennan and that staff did a great job. It's a high-level quarterback, and we know we're going to have that conversation every week in terms of quarterbacks and make a bad play good and obviously spread offenses. So, no, I'm at the risk of sounding like a coach that's bluffing you. I'm extremely excited after week one and very, very disappointed by individual plays.
What was Eric Gentry's impact? Is he on the pitch count right now?
Yeah, and so for Eric, it's good to have him back. I mean, you talk about a guy that missed so much time between the season and now, none of which is his own doing. It's just the reality of injuries and some of those things. And probably in so many ways, once he got the green light to be able to go, I mean, it has been a full speed ahead deal for him, the medical staff, and Coach Odom, and everything defensive. So those reps will just continue to go. But no, it's fun to see him because we saw probably more on Saturday than we did, cumulative reps over the course of fall camp in so many ways. And so that's good. We like to rotate. We need to be able to do that. And obviously, he has been and will be a major player for us.
It seemed like Shane was pretty limited.
Yeah.
Week one. How's he doing? How's he coming along? What do you?
Yeah, that was just health, and he'll continue to progress. And a guy that will keep pushing the envelope to get him ready to go, and a guy that we think will certainly have an impact. Got to be healthy to wrap time. So we'll get him going. So excited about it.
Can you talk about Domani and Bears Day?
Yeah, well, it's exciting. You talk about Domani's not one of those 10 new guys because he did play some snaps. But on the same note, you're talking about a guy we all know that was very, very limited a year ago, and in so many ways probably didn't have any reps at 100%. So excited to get him out there, and a guy that probably I probably put him in a tough situation as the invert half guy right before the half, and you can have the checkers in the right place. But that's one of those situations. I told Domani this, where he had enough reps of that, put the ball in the air coming at him. And I got to be honest with myself and say, you know what, that's probably not the situation you put him in. But all told, I thought did a nice job and just going to continue to get better. Good lead post position right after that. I think halftime that way, and so it was good. And watching the tape, I think Bear was more impactful than probably on Saturday. I maybe thought he would, or thought he had. You see the stat sheet and you think some of the scrambles, God damn, but he didn't pressure. And you watch it and you say, oh man, some missed opportunities. And that ties into playing together. And then that's, we talked to the back end too. It's not just in all those scenarios where it's just the four guys. It's on that second level, guys making sure that they're firing the gun, a little bit quicker in some of those situations. But no, Bear had an impact. I think he'll continue to. And you saw guys, same thing. There's so much that wasn't with us. Get him in the summer, missed a lot of time in fall camp. Again, not his own doing, just the reality of football. And, so no, he's just going to keep going in that direction. Good guy to have.
Thoughts on Curtis's debut?
Curtis is going to be awesome. Curtis, I'm really excited about him. I mean, there's some things that as you look back on it, his first reaction is hit somebody. The second reaction is maybe go in the right direction type of things at times. But that just comes with reps. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You talk about tall order. We put him in the game, and we've talked about the depth of linebacker type of thing through fall camp. And so it's just seeing it, reacting to it, and so he's one of those guys that I think he'll make major leaps moving forward. And he'll run and hit you now. Of all the guys we're worried about, it's not tagging.
Let's do one more.
How do you feel about the defense after 1 week?
Yeah.
This time of year compared to a year ago?
Yeah, I'm very bullish on it. I am, and I already mentioned it before, and I can't overstate it. I don't want to get, anything you say sounds like an excuse, and I don't want to do that, and I don't believe it is. You can say, well, it's not for these 7 players, well, and that's how losers start, right? So we can't do that. But on the same note is, how do we feel about the defense before that play? And then when you watch that play, you say, okay, what was the efficiency on it? oh my God, how correctable that is. And sometimes that's not, and sometimes it's effort. And that wasn't the case coming out of the game. And in some cases, it's almost like into maybe a basketball coach where you kind of feel like you got the open shot and you didn't make it. But why on earth do we think we're not going to make it the next time around? So continue to put the work in, continue to rep these guys and get them going. And, obviously, I don't believe that's our best yet. And obviously, extremely disappointed by some of the numbers. And we got to go from there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.